In the heart of every teenager lies a world of untapped potential, waiting for a spark to set it aflame. This is the story of Emma, a 16-year-old who found herself on an unexpected journey of self-discovery. Emma was like most teenagers, stuck in the monotony of high school. Between homework, friends, and scrolling endlessly through social media, she felt like her life was a series of routines. Yet, deep inside, she yearned for something more. One day, while cleaning out the attic with her dad, Emma stumbled upon an old, dusty journal. The name Margaret Ann was inscribed on the cover in elegant handwriting. "Who's Margaret Ann?" Emma asked. Her dad smiled wistfully. "She was your great-grandmother, a remarkable woman. She traveled the world, documented her dreams, and never let anything hold her back." Intrigued, Emma opened the journal. Inside were sketches of faraway places, quotes about courage, and pages of adventures. One entry caught her eye. "True discovery isn't found in distant lands, but within yourself." Emma couldn't stop thinking about the journal. It was as though Margaret Ann's words had awakened something inside her, a restlessness that she couldn't ignore. Inspired by Margaret Ann's words, Emma decided to challenge herself. She wrote a list titled Emma's Self-Discovery Bucket List. It included tasks like 1. Try something completely new. 2. Talk to someone outside her friend group. 3. Spend a day without social media. 4. Learn a skill she'd always been curious about. 5. Write about her journey. 6. Explore a place she had never been before. 7. Perform a random act of kindness. The first challenge was trying something new. Emma signed up for a pottery class at the local community center. Walking into the studio, she felt nervous but excited. The instructor, a quirky woman named Ms. Vera, encouraged the group to let the clay guide their emotions. Emma's first creation was a lopsided mug, but she couldn't stop smiling. For the first time in a while, she felt proud of herself. She returned for more classes and began to see how creativity could be a form of self-expression. Through these classes, Emma met other students who shared their stories of how art had helped them overcome personal challenges, inspiring her even more. The next challenge was harder. Emma decided to sit with a group of students she didn't know during lunch. She chose a table of theater kids who were animatedly discussing their upcoming play. At first, she felt out of place, but then she shared how she'd always admired acting from afar. Before she knew it, they invited her to audition for a small role. Auditioning terrified Emma, but she pushed through. To her surprise, she got the part. Being part of the play introduced her to a world of creativity and teamwork she'd never experienced before. During rehearsals, she not only learned about acting, but also about stepping out of her comfort zone to collaborate with others. The group dynamic taught Emma valuable lessons about trust, listening, and finding her voice, both on and off the stage. One of her castmates, Olivia, became a close friend who encouraged Emma to try other creative outlets, like writing short stories and poetry. Emma's biggest challenge came when she decided to spend a day without her phone. At first, it felt unbearable. She reached for it out of habit, only to remember her self-imposed rule. However, as the day went on, she found herself noticing things she'd often overlooked: the laughter of children at the park, the vibrant colors of the autumn leaves, the peacefulness of her own thoughts. That evening, Emma sat in her room and wrote in a journal, just like Margaret Ann. She poured out her thoughts, her fears, and the things she was grateful for. She began to see that the quiet moments of her life held a beauty she'd never appreciated before. The next obstacle came when Emma signed up for a public speaking competition at school. She had always been afraid of speaking in front of an audience, but she decided to confront that fear head-on. With the support of her drama friends, Emma prepared a speech about her journey so far. Standing on the stage, her hands trembled, but as she spoke, she felt a sense of empowerment she'd never known. One of the items on Emma's list was to explore a place she had never been before. She convinced her parents to let her visit a nearby nature reserve. Armed with a backpack and her journal, Emma spent the day hiking trails, marveling at the beauty of untouched landscapes. and reflecting on how far she'd come. She realized that self-discovery wasn't just about ticking off challenges. It was about connecting with herself and the world around her. As Emma continued her journey, she discovered a love for baking. She spent hours experimenting in the kitchen, finding joy in the process of creating something from scratch. Her family became her enthusiastic taste testers, and she started a small blog to share her recipes and experiences. Emma's random act of kindness involved baking cookies for her elderly neighbor, Mrs. Green, who often sat alone on her porch. The simple gesture blossomed into a sweet friendship. Mrs. Green shared stories from her youth and offered Emma advice that echoed Margaret Ann's adventurous spirit. Over the next few weeks, Emma checked off more items on her list. She volunteered at an animal shelter, where she found comfort in caring for abandoned pets. The experience taught her about empathy and the importance of giving back to her community. Emma also started to share her journey online, writing blog posts and creating videos about her challenges and what she was learning. To her surprise, her content resonated with others. Messages poured in from teens around the world who felt inspired to start their own journeys of self-discovery. A pivotal moment came when Emma was invited to speak at a youth seminar. Standing in front of hundreds of peers, she shared her story of finding courage, creativity, and compassion. The applause at the end wasn't just for her words, but for the universal truths they carried. By the end of the school year, Emma had transformed. She wasn't just the girl who blended into the background anymore. She was someone who'd faced fears, embraced new experiences, and discovered a sense of purpose. She had grown into a more confident, adventurous, and compassionate version of herself. Emma's journey taught her that self-discovery isn't about finding a new world. It's about finding a new you. So, what's stopping you from starting your own journey? Subscribe for more inspiring stories. Your adventure starts today.